So before we start this video, I would like to tell you guys that all these are completely opinion based, and none of them are taken with any regret or anything. These are just my opinions on what these benches are placing. If you have different opinions, yeah, that's just your opinions. Okay, let's get started. First up, we have Moto's bench. This bench is pretty good for main purposes. It has Moto right here. Only downside about it is that it's literally in Howling Peaks. Nope, it needs to go here. If you do, it's for Grim Troop, and that's it. So, so we're so we're gonna rate this one a good. I'm gonna say C tier. Next, we have the Dermouth bench. This bench is quite often for Grimchild over here, which is mine gone. Sly Shop, and just the main. Pretty much, this is the main area. It's a nice, safe place. You can go to get money things. And they have main stag access too. It's even better. But most people come here first. This is probably the first bench most people see. So, so we're just going to go to S tier. It's a very useful bench. Next bench we have is the Forgotten Crossroads, or Infected Crossroads, Hot Springs. When this place is not infected, it might be a little bit better. That is very right. But there's not really much over here. Main thing goes here is the city entrance down here. Or sorry, fungal. Other than that, there's not much to go over here. We're gonna rate this one a good D tier. Actually, I'll do F, and then we might move it up to D later. What is the Naga Charm setup? It's pretty decent, I think. Okay, but so this is the next bench. We have the Forgotten Crossroads Stag. This is a stag, so it's going to rate high no matter what. Stags are very crucial things to the game. Once infected, it's not as useful. You don't have to come back here too much. It is still pretty used though for Slubra. That's pretty much the main reason. But for early game, this is actually a pretty good area or bench because it's a bench right before a boss. Because it's in the center of Forgotten Crossroads. Go up here, boss sight's right over there. So overall, we're going to rate this one a good, say actually an A tier. It's a very good bench. Speaking of Slubra's bench is the next bench. So this area you don't get here normally, but like it's still very important because this is literally a charm shop. So you're going to go in here, buy all your charms, or this curse. You buy your charms, come right here, put them right here, test them out. So for shop purposes, we're gonna rate this one B tier because charms are more important than nail arts, as I think they are. So to start wrapping up Forgotten Crossroads, if you're early game, we have the Ancestral Mound. This area, if you didn't know, gives you the Fireball spell, or as it's called, Vengeful Spirit, and a charm. It's right here. Pretty much all players, like maybe a speedrunner, has to go here and sometime in their playthrough, in order to get one of the spells in the game, which there's only 3 of. So getting one is very important, and this is already is one. So bench right outside, equip the charm, and just as a save point when if you need to leave. The only bad thing is this person locks you up in jail whenever as soon as you get the spell. So to rate this one, I would have rated it B, but since the person puts you in jail, put it down C. Amplify the Sun. So the next bench we're going to have is the Black Lake Temple. I thought it was going to be later, but it's up next. So we're jumping from the early game all the way to the end game. This one, the design isn't very good, but it just has a black background. But it makes sense for this area. Right here you get World Sense. But the main thing over here is that you get to fight the final boss in the game. Which is going to be once it loads. The Hollow Knight's a fun time. So, while I'm in the middle of this boss fight, I'm gonna raid this bench. Since it's so important for endgame, we're gonna raid this one A. Why does bench exist? So this bench is the waterfall bench in Green Path. It's the first bench you enter, and there's absolutely no reason for this to be here. Only reason it can be here is for a quick save point, but there's multiple better ones across Green Path. There's nothing around here or anything. There's some Geo rocks up there, and this is the entrance to like, the main part of Green Path. We first see Hornet over there. But still, there's nothing dangerous nearby, there's no bosses or anything. So in the rating, I'm gonna rate this one F. I'm not gonna move this one to D. So this one is a lot worse, I think this one is. This one at least has a fungal waste entrance. Now this one's better. So this is the Stone Sanctuary bench, and as I said, it's next near the Stone Sanctuary. This bench is a lot better than the Waterfall bench. When I say it's still not that good. There's nothing like too important near it. It's the closest bench down to Fog Canyon. Pretty much, I use this one a lot on my first playthrough. From doing the section over to the left, the one that goes to Queen's Garden. I didn't even know it goes to Queen's Garden at the time, but this thing has a lot more places nearby. It has the Monster Journal above it. Below it's Stone Sanctuary. Even farther below it has the Fog Canyon. And to the left, there's a boss. A giant massive Moss Charger, I think is the name. I forget it because it's kind of forgettable. But this one's going to be rating, still not the highest, but it's better than the Waterfall one. We're gonna rate this one below. Yeah, we're gonna rate this one a little bit higher than the Hot Springs, but still in D. This bench is a Green Path Toll, which pretty much every single person doing a casual playthrough, or goes down the normal path, will probably end up going here, following this bench, which is I think the pole's like right here or something. And this bench is the center of the map, so pretty useful. Not too much around it, but like everyone has to go here because you go up, there's Hornet. You go down, well, it's where you came from normally. Unless you do the skip to go enter right here, then you don't have to ever go there. Up here you have Moss Knights, and to the left you have Hornet. So this since it's centered, it's definitely gonna rate a little bit higher. But we're gonna rate this one D tier, or sorry, C. It's probably gonna be like the bottom of C, and maybe move down to top D, but for now, let's keep it there. Welcome to the Green Path Stag Bench. So this is Stag again, rating highly. This is pretty much just a better version of Toll Bench. Because it's not center-ish, but it's so close to things that you normally go here, like for Zote on top. Or if you go down, then there's Oro. Yeah, Oro. Up here you have the Hornet fight. So most people that come down here probably either fight the Hornet fight right here, or force explore down because they see the Stag sign, and go get the bench. So it's 4 different boss fighting. Right here is Wandering Journal, with a Void Guardian, but Stags are obviously going to rate high. So the last Stag rated an A tier. This one I'm going to say is better than that one. Going to rate it in a top of A. Huh, interesting. So, as I was about to say, this is the Lake of Unbench, which is another one that doesn't really need to exist. This bench, after you fight the Hornet fight, you can go left and get to here. Inside here, Quarrel is sitting on this rock right here. Some dialogue options. For most of the game, though, this is pretty much useless. There's no reason to go here. You go here once. Don't even get the bench because there's no combat or anything. Just go over here and get the Lake of Lake of Un. This one's going to be another F tier. Oh, it actually does have some purpose though, so it's going higher than the Waterfall. There's some friendly spikes, but this is the Shio bench. I know earlier I said this was Oro. It's not Oro, this is Shio. But Shio is another Nail Master. So you can go in here, get your Great Slash. You talk to this guy once you save him, or if you kill him, you murderer. Then you can, over here, you have This is a full-on parkour section to get over here, though. But if I'm not mistaken, there is a vessel fragment up here. Let me go check for one more thing. And never mind, there's not there's not a vessel fragment here, but there's a different one. So this one, it doesn't have too much near it. It's super far away from the other ones, like anything else. It's not even near another bench. So this one's going to be rating. Last one rated was a C. The top of the C though. This one's probably going to be. Now arts can be useful. Grace is probably the most useful of all of them. So I'm gonna rate one right above the toll and C tier. Before the next bench, I'm going to fix one thing up real quick. Let's say, let me go through that real quick. So for the last one, I put Shia below Oro. I never use Cyclone Slash. Whenever I do use your nail arts, it's Great Slash. I'm gonna flip these two around. The air is a little bit better for Oro, but the nail art is just better for Shia. But now we're going to be going on to Archives. This is a important place for the Dreamer. So it's obviously going to have to rate high for that. And it's the only bench Fall Canyon, like the smallest area. That's not correct. That's Green Path. But I was saying it's the only bench in Fall Canyon. Let's see if it actually loads now. Okay, apparently it's Green Path. But since it's only one Fall Canyon, and no one has to go Fall Canyon much. There's like a charm notch, and pretty much this is it. But down here you fight Imwu, because everyone loves fighting Imwu. It's definitely not annoying at all. Well, at least not Godhelm. But if you fight Imwu, go get the Dreamer. So it's one of the main parts of the game. So you pretty much always have to come here. Benches is a good thing anyways, because benches are useful, especially for boss fights. So we're gonna rate this one. Last, for the final boss I did A. I'm also gonna rate this one A. Here we have the Queen Station. In Queen Station, it's another stag. Like the other stags are just useful for fast traveling others. This one is not just like a stag, there's more to do in this area. Over here you can go fight, not fight, you can go over to Willow, get, I think it's a warning journal up there. Corals right here, you have a mash shard over here. So like in the main area, there's lots of different things to do. You can also head over back over to here to Fall Canyon, go to the Baker, if you ever want to trust their services. Then you also have the main entrance, or not the main entrance, but like normally most people's first entrance into Fungal Waste. Fungal Waste is just a fun area, so. So remember this one in. This is out of the two styles we have so far, both replaced them in A. This one's the one I use the most. Out of these ones I have currently. And it's a pretty common one because you fucking entrance. And it's a pretty good one for Fungal Waste. We're gonna have this in S tier. Might move it down to A later, but for now we're gonna keep it in S. Now next bench we have Leg Eater. Leg Eater is one of the many shops in this game. He's not here for me, because, of mine. But, this is a very useful bench. It's a, pretty much, whenever you go down from Forgotten Crossroads, you probably step here, and has some of the best charms in the game. Strength, Heart, and Greed. Strength is pretty much the best charm for Nail at least, but one of the best charms in the game. Just because of the charm shop, we're going to rate this one. We rated Slooper and B, but we're going to rate this one actually in the middle of A. Right above Black Egg Temple. Here we have the Breda bench. Breda bench, as the name implies, has Breda over here. Mine's not there for me because I already saved them. But if you, now Breda bench is just useful for Breda. It's also the closest bench to the Mantis village. So for fighting Mantis swords or just like having a bench nearby, it's the best choice. Because you might be going through this boss fight multiple times on your first two playthroughs. Having a bench nearby helps make it a little bit shorter. So we're going to rate this one a bench. It's not that good, but it's also not that bad. We're gonna rate this one a B tier. Speaking of the Mantis Village, now we have the Mantis Village bench. This bench is only accessible after you fight the Mantis Lords and get into the area, because normally this guy just blocks you off. But this area has a bunch of rewards you can get. Some, I think it's a mass shard up here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not, but some items up there. You have a bunch of G on this chest, or maybe it's one below. And then there's Mark Pride, is the main one here, which increases your nail by a lot. Pretty much the better version of long nail. And this one, it's not used too much though, because it's in a dead end. It's useful for healing up after the fight though. But and just at a save point. So for that reasons, we're going to rate this one in a C tier. It's still better than, I think it's lower below this toll. In the greenback toll, so we're gonna rate this one in C tier. Now we have the Coral Bench. Coral's not here because I've played this game for a while on this account. The Coral Bench is the first bench you find when you get into City of Tears. Mainly this area, it's a nice area, but after you come here once, you don't really have to go back up this way. Because you open up the stag access, which then you don't have to go up down here at all. But for the beginning, when you first get here, this bench is useful as a save point, healing, and in case you die, you don't have to go too far. But after you get here, you don't have to do much over here, so we're gonna rate this one, I'm about to die as this guy. We're gonna rate this one, and we're gonna put this one at, we're gonna put it above Hot Springs, and this one, or in between, we're gonna put this one in D. Now we have the City of Tears toll. This one's another toll, so it's paid. But this is actually a very useful spot. You corn for over here. Go up here, then you can fight Soul Warrior and get upgraded Fireball. And then you also have the main action Soul Sanctum, which this bench is very important for first comers or more people that play the game. Because Soul Sanctum can be a tough area for some people. Because just bosses and just the enemies total. Sometimes you can be annoying for people. Having a bench pretty much right next to the area, especially if they have the shortcut unlocked, is going to be very important. So for those purposes, we're gonna rate this one in between, above Breda and B tier. Here we have another stag. This stag is the Sage Forum's bench. And then this is another stag, so they're going very high no matter what. But this stag is kind of useless after you get King Station. Like, before you get King Station, it can be useful. But like, if you're going for full progression, you're gonna get King Station before you have to ever come back here. So, when it's like, the only reason you can't come back here is for Lem. But once you get King Station, it's kind of pointless. So we're gonna move this stag below here. But City of Tears is more useful than like any of the areas. We're gonna raise one right above it, the top of A. So it's not S tier, but it's definitely above this one. So I think that's fair. Here we have the Watcher Spire's bench. This bench, as the name implies, is inside the Watcher Spire. Watcher Spire is another one of the main locations that you need in order to be Hollow Knight, having one of the 3 Dreamers. Like the last Dreamer bench, this one also has a boss guarding it, Watcher Guardian. Sorry, not Watcher Guardians, Watcher Knights, which is right up here. Having a bench near a boss, especially a boss that you have to fight for the game, is going to be very important, especially for people that have just started playing this game. For those purposes, we're going to rate this in a good. We're going to put this actually above Archive, so this area has a little more around it. So we're going to put it right there in A tier. King Station Stag. This one's going to be high. So this one's another one of the stags. So this is probably the most used stag in all the game. So it's in City of Tears, which is one of the most. It's another one of the most. It is the biggest area in the entire game. With lots of different benches in it that we've done before. But this area also has two accesses to Kingdom's Edge. One down over here on the stag, and then one up in the elevator. But this one around it has so many different things. It's like, if you need to travel anywhere, if you need geo grinding, kill these guys over here. There's multiple different things you can go with this area. This one's going to rate S tier. It's not as good as Durmap. Durmap has 10,000 chops, but it's definitely still a good one. Just ask me that I completely forget this bench even existed. This is the Pleasure House bench. I don't really go here. I don't even know what's in this area. This one's probably gonna be the most unfair rating out of all of them. There's nothing I know here except I think there's Marissa down here, but other than that, the bench in the hot springs, there's really no reason to come over here. So, it's not I know of. So we're gonna rate this one in a bottom of D. Actually, F. I have no idea what space does. Welcome to Waterways. So, other than this area being terrible, there's really only one bench in this entire section. Which is very important because having a bench in this section is very good. Not if they travel all the way here from like, I don't know, like the city tour or something from there. It's a little bit far away. You have to go up a few things. But, so for the only bench in Royal Water, I'm gonna assume it has pretty much everything in this area. Which is a Gung Defender, the Isthmus here, and it has a Godhelm entrance. Once you go to Godhelm, though, you pretty much have a Dream Gate there and never have to go back through this area. Also has a few things like the Fluke Morn, but not too much here, but we're still gonna be this pretty high. I'm gonna press on top of B. Okay, I'll put it right below Snura. Godhelm time. So if you're wondering why we're doing Godhelm next, Godhelm is in Royal Waterways, so that's why we're doing this next. And this is the Godhelm Atrium. This area is probably, it's very useful, sure. It's a bench right below all the Pantheons, all four of them. So you can go, the first four at least. You can go down here, to the Pantheons, and if you need to come up here, change your charm setups or anything, go up here, change your charms, and it's easy. Also has Axe Pantheon 5 for you to next, but you can go up, and then go to Pantheon 5, but still have a bench nearby for you to change your charms. So we're going to rate this one in a good, I'm going to put it also in B tier, buff Snoover though. Now this is the Godhelm roof. So this one, I mean, I guess it's useful for Pantheon 5. You don't have to go down as far for equipping charms and other things, but like, it's not too much farther than just going down here to the right over here and just getting down. It's like one transition, it's not too far. I don't understand why I have to put another bench there. I mean, like, it's sometimes sake, but still not much. I don't know why you want to just go back to the original one. Because that we're gonna rate this one in the bottom of, or put it actually above Hot Springs, right here in D. To wrap up Godhelm, the last one we have is the Hall of Gods. This one's very useful as well, because during here you fight any bosses and you want, all the way up to Radiant, or go fight up to Radiant if you want, and being able to change charms for different boss fights is very useful. Let's say you're going from Ascended to like Radiant. You're not going to want to keep the same charm setup as you had for Ascended. You want to be overcharmed, get rid of your health charms, a few other things. Having a bench right here is very useful. For that, we're going to rate this one in the above. We're putting in the middle of A tier. Say like right above that gator, actually. Here's Deep Nest. So this is Deep Nest Hot Springs, and it's the first bench you come into when you most times when you go into Deep Nest. No matter if you're entering through the Mantis area or the drop down, you're gonna end up coming through here. Then you go over here as like pretty much entrance to the main part of it. There is entrances to go around this area. You don't ever have to come here. Most of the time you do end up coming this way anyways. And that's nearest to the tram. If you go up to this top left, there's Nosk. And again, just access the Deep Nest. So for those purposes, we're going to rate it in a C tier, right above Toll. But now we have Failed Tramway. Failed Tramway actually do like, you can have a cloth direction right here. Failed Tramway, as I say, it's part of the Failed Tramway. But you can get Tram Pass if you go all the way to the left. Having a bench nearby, in case you die, because these enemies can be difficult sometimes, especially for new players. Having a bench nearby change charms into this respawn point. It's going to be very useful for this. And then there's life up here if you guys didn't know. But for the reasons, we're going to rate this one in, I'm going to say B tier. Or actually, yeah, actually no. Yeah, B tier. So Beaston, again, this is one of this is the last streamer that we have. And this one doesn't have a boss or anything guarding it, it's just a platform section. Most time you walk in for here, see this bench in the middle, all these guys tell you to sit at the bench. And they kidnap you and tie you up somewhere down. You don't even get to have the bench, and you don't heal or anything. After you do the entire section, you get the Dreamer, then you come down here, and then you finally actually get a bench. Thing is though, it's right next to a stag. The stag doesn't have a bench, it's pretty much like the stag bench, but like, it's, if you need the bench, then just teleport somewhere else. You're not gonna be here longer after you get the Dreamer. Like this section, you really just need to do the Dreamer and leave. But the stag's right here, you can just leave here. So this one's gonna be right down, we're gonna rate it down in the bottom of D. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the top of F. Cause like, sure it has purposes, but not that much purposes. Looking at Ancient Basin. So Ancient Basin Toll is the first bench we're going to be looking at. And it's the first bench you find in Ancient Basin. And this is a good one for a Broken Vessel fight, which is right over here. Having a bench right there to be able to respawn and change your charms is useful. Especially if you unlock a shortcut when you get over here. That allows you to make a short ride instead of having to go for the entire parkour section by going down. And this bench is mainly used for boss battling. And it's kind of, once you beat a Broken Vessel, you don't have to come here as much at all. But for the Broken Vessel purposes, it's actually a very good bench. For that, we're gonna rate it in C tier, right above the Mantis Village. Here's the hidden station. Very hidden, definitely. All you have to do is go for break the wall. But this is the better version of Toll. It has stag access, and once you have double jump, you pretty much have mental thing here. Right up here, you can get to the White Palace. Then you can also head all the way back down over here. It's a little bit far away, but Crystal Dash isn't too bad. You can head down here, go to the best 3000 Geo Fountain if you need to do that still. And just pretty much the main exit to Tram to the main exit to Ancient Basin. Instead of teleported hole by stag access, you don't have to travel all the way. It's just a quick travel point. Let's go on the top of A. The best stag, the second best stag we have so far. I find myself using this one a lot. Now we finally have Oro, the last Snail Master. This Snail Master is in Kingdom's Edge and is the only one that actually has you pay to get their nail art. Even though it's paid, it's still not that good though. It's just dash slash, which it's not dash slash. And in order to get here, you have to go for a full-on trial of these giant hoppers. So it takes a while to get over here. No, it actually now. But it can take a while to get over here. And the main thing over here though is if you go over here, first little dummy you can go by, but you can go down to the 420 Geo Rock. 420 Geo Rock, as it says, there is 420 Geo Rock. Also down here you can get Quick Slash, which is another one of my pretty much one of my favorite charms. So we're gonna rate this one in A. So we're gonna rate this one in the middle of A. I guess right before the stags, and rate this one actually right below Legator. Yeah, that sounds fair. Kingdom's Edge Camp. This bench is right next to Hornet 2. I think there's one right here. So the main purpose for this is boss fighting. Is for boss fighting against Hornet 2, which is all the way down here. Especially on your first playthroughs, Hornet 2 can be a tough boss to be able to fight. Having a bench right here, be able to change your charms, and just like main mantis is going to be very useful. So for those purposes, we're going to rate this one in a good B tier, but we'll put it right above the Failed Tramway. final bench for main Kingdom's Edge, we have the Colosseum. Colosseum is a very important place for geo purposes. There's a Charm Notch and some Pale Ore here. With these 3 trials, these trials can reward lots of different geo amounts. And you get to fight the best boss in the game, Zotum ID. I ever defied him on this account, so he won't see him anywhere. But this area has many unique enemies, many unique challenges, and just lots of geo to collect. So we're gonna ride this one in another S tier, right below King Station. So if you count one of another Kingdom's Edge, then that's where it is. But this is the Hive. The Hive is this full-on own sub area, which is inside of Kingdom's Edge, where it only has this one bench for this entire area. This area only has one access, which makes it. And the one bench is also pretty early on, so to get the rest of it, you kind of have to walk a bunch. And this area is just annoying to go through. There's so many bees. They are all different, unique things, but there's just so many of them here. Where it's kind of sometimes a little bit too much to handle. So we're gonna rate this. So we're gonna rate this one in the bottom. Or actually, we're in the middle of D, right above the. What's one called? The roof of Godhome. The Crystal Guardian's bench. This is the one of the only benches in Crystal Peaks, and it's in the central area, and it's good for 2 boss fights: Crystal Guardian and Rage Guardian. Crystal Peaks is the area where you come here once, you don't have to come back here really at all. But while you're here, though, it is pretty useful. And it's pretty much the only bench where you actually have to do something to get to it. By do something, I mean PvP wise. You have to fight Crystal Guardian in order to get the bench. So for the purposes, we're going to do this one in C tier. This is the resting ground stag. This is the resting ground stag. Being one of the stags, only very high no matter what. But this is pretty much the only bench in resting grounds unless you're counting Flower Quest. In this bench, it's a free stag, which makes it better. It's close to the Seer and a few other things. Seer right here, mine's not there anymore. Has access to this area called again? Spirit's Glade, which there's not really a reason to go there. And you pretty much have to go down here for the City of Tears entrance, or for the right half, if you're doing a normal playthrough. For all those purposes, we're in this one in the middle of A, right above Queen Station. Actually, right below Queen Station. This is the Grey Mortar bench, and it's the only other bench in Resting Grounds. And this is pretty much used for Flower Quest, and that's it. It has close access to the catacombs, but you come in here, grab a flower, go to Pain of Flower Quest, or fight the boss if you have it. Then you go over here to Flower Quest. All the purposes run this one in run this one in A. It's put it right below Imwu bench. Then this is the Cornifer bench in Queen's Gardens. This bench is the first bench that you find when you, or for most people, when you go into Queen's Gardens. It's on the right side of the map, which doesn't really have much, but it's the first bench you get, so it can be useful, and has Cornifer right over here. Not the most useful though, so I'm gonna raise one in B tier. This is the Queen's Gardens Toll. Queen's Gardens Toll is in the bottom left corner of Queen's Gardens, and it's Toll, which means price. And this, when I first played, I actually used bench a decent amount. But once you get the stag, there's no reason to ever really go to there. So, for those purposes, remember this one in a B tier. I'll wrap up Queen's Gardens, you have the Queen's Gardens stag. This is another stag, rating high no matter what. But this stag is, you have to enter it from backwards. You can't enter it through here. Like, you have to go around the entire area, which of extra path. One thing Queen's Gardens though, the reason that all these are rating lower is because there's not really much to do in Queen's Gardens. Really, come here once, get the white fragment, and then just leave. So for all the purposes, we're in one. And upon the stags, it's still an A tier because it's a stag. Right below Grand Cross. Here's the entrance to White Palace. So this bench I actually kind of forgot existed. White Palace's area pretty much have to go for trending. But there's 3 benches in the entire area. There's no map. There's 3 benches in the entire area. 1 entrance, 1 atrium, and 1 during the middle of part 3. And this is right after the entrance, and there's not really any reason to exist. Once you get the atrium, you never have to come back here. Because the entrance doesn't take you to here, it takes you to somewhere else. Into the atrium. So you don't really need to ever go here once you get it once. So for the purposes rated in and around D, right there. Here's probably the best bench inside of White Palace. This is the atrium bench, and you have access to pretty much all of White Palace. It's after the entrance too, but pretty much this is the entrance and exit to White Palace. So from now on, once you get to this area, you can enter through here instead of going for the main area. And this is probably the best bench for White Palace. So we're gonna make this one in a B tier. Because White Palace, you don't ever go there more than once. This is, I don't remember the name of this bench, but this is the other bench inside of White Palace, and it's inside the 3rd section. You get here pretty early because you actually enter the 3rd section, but since early on doesn't have much of a purpose, and it's not too far away from another bench. Like, if you go right down here, it's there 1 room later, and you're already back in the atrium. Like, that bench helps with, like, 2 jumps, and that's about it. So we're gonna rate this one in D tier. Now we're at the upper tram. This is one of 2 trams in the game, but the upper one is used a lot less. So much where I don't ever use this one. Upper tram allows you to take from resting grounds to Forgotten Crossroads and Infected Crossroads. And there's a stag right next to it, so there's no reason to use that. So we're gonna make this one in... we're to the top of F. Now this is the lower tram. The lower tram is the other tram inside Hollow Knight, and this one is a lot better. Because the tram allows you to access Deep Nest, Ancient Basin, and only entrance to the Hive. At least for the first time. Once you get there, you can go to King's Edge, but Hive is a bonus sub area. It doesn't have much to do. Like, pretty much come here once and that's it. But for that one purpose, the lower tram actually is useful. But, so for that purpose, those purposes, we're gonna rate this one in a C tier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is rating every single bench at Hollow Knight. And well, see you guys next time. Bye.